Hi everyone, this is Ms. Granger. In this digital lesson, we're going to look at the ATL skill, structuring information in summaries, essays, and reports. As usual, you will record any information, notes, or complete activities as you're listening to the video, so please pause as needed to make that happen. Let's get started. Today we're going to work on structuring information in summaries, essays, and reports by arranging a task related to the novel The Hunger Games. Now, whether or not you're familiar with the story, you should be able to use the clue cards in order to be successful. So let's first talk about the skill. So in the Learn and Take Notes section, let's fill in some blanks. So structuring information in summaries, essays, and reports is a really valuable life skill that is used across all sorts of disciplines. This skill will help students prepare for any kind of professional presentation in education or out in the workplace. It involves organizing information appropriately to a task at hand, whatever that task may be. There are 6 steps for how to do this task. Step number 1 is understand the prompt and the directions for a task. You want to make sure you answer the correct question in the correct way according to whatever the instructions are. For example, if you're applying for a job and you misread or you mislabel something in your task, your employer, that future employer, may not even review your application at all because they realize that you're not the kind of person who actually reads to understand. So it's really important to understand what is being asked of you first. Number 2, you'll want to gather the appropriate information. You'll do this from any sources that are appropriate and necessary, again, for that task. Number 3, you will create a claim by responding to the prompt or topic. The claim is the main idea or the big thing that you are going to talk about or argue within this task. Number 4, you'll support your evidence or your information by citing specific information. Citing specific information only makes an argument or point of view stronger, and if you use it in a way where you're going to analyze it next, that information that you're citing can be very powerful. Number 5, you'll explain how your evidence is connected to your claim. Really analyzing that information shows your viewer that you know what you're talking about. And then number 6, you will restate your claim using different language and or provide a closing thought. What is your final thought on the matter? This should be in different language or different words, but still emphasize your point. So let's talk about why this skill even matters. One reason that it matters is because you will be able to accurately convey a message. You're actually giving real thought to the task at hand and being able to explain it in a comprehensive way. Second, you'll be able to write and respond to various applications for educational and vocational institutions. Vocational means like a job. Many, if not most, jobs require some kind of written application, and so having this skill can really help you be successful with that. Finally, academically, you'll be able to engage in higher academia, meaning that when you're in an educational institution, say college, university, you'll be able to structure information in a way that is appropriate for most tasks. All right, let's find the practice activity on the other side of your paper. We're still focusing on structuring information in summaries, essays, and reports. We're going to demonstrate our understanding of this by cutting, arranging, and taping the appropriate descriptions in the correct order according to the how do I do it steps above. So remember above, you recorded those 6 steps: understand, gather, create, etc. So using those 6 steps, you're now going to apply those skills here. You'll see in the gray boxes the step, and then under the gray box there is a white box where you will attach the appropriate information. The appropriate information will be on a separate page. You're going to have a page that's called practice cards. The practice cards look like this, and there are 4 steps. First, you will cut out each square. Second, you will read through the information on each one to determine which step it belongs to in your practice. Number 3, you will arrange the squares physically on your paper in the correct place and ask your teacher to confirm your choices. When your teacher says, "Great job," then you can tape down your squares. Your teacher might say, "Nope, we need to try this again," or "You have 2 of them that are missed off." Whatever that clue is, you'll fix it and then let them know. So underneath you'll see several different squares that explain a task related to the novel The Hunger Games. So your job is to read through each of these little cards and decide which one of these belongs in which box on your practice. So for understanding the prompt and the directions for a task, I'm looking for the prompt and directions for a task. So I would come down here to these cards. I would read through. They're not in order. So I would read through, and I'm looking for something that looks like directions or a prompt or a task. That's the card that I would then put in the first box. You'll do the same thing for number 2. When you get to number 4 says support your evidence by citing specific information. There are 3 pieces of text evidence. Then it says line up your evidence here on the left with the explanation on the right. So you'll have a quote from the text, and there will be an analysis statement that lines up with that quote that you will put next to it on the right in number 5. Number 5 is you explaining how your evidence is connected to your claim. Okay, there are 3 analysis statements. So there should be 3 boxes here and 3 boxes here. So to be clear, you are not actually creating a task and doing this right now. You are simply cutting out these cards and sorting them and identifying where they should be in this process of structuring information, summaries, essays, and reports. There is no mastery check for this lesson. You'll simply show your teacher to show that you have mastered the skill. Good luck, and be sure to check with your teacher if you have any questions.